Hello, Mr. Chair. Sorry about the delay. The live stream is back online.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. For those who are watching or listening, sorry about that. Now we'll continue. We'll start with the first application. It's actually a minor variance application MV-2023-35 at 26 Steeplechase Avenue. The application. The applicant is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate the relocation of an existing driveway further east and away from the intersection of Hunters Glen Road and Steeplechase Avenue. The following relief is being requested. The first one, number A, section 14.1.2 in brackets 2 of the zoning bylaw states no development or site alteration shall occur on that portion of said lot that is within a potential key natural heritage feature without an amendment to or relief from the zoning bylaw. Number B, section 14.1.3.1 of the zoning bylaw states no development or site alteration shall occur on that portion of the lot that contains a minimum vegetation protection zone without an amendment to or relief from the zoning bylaw. And the number C, section 14.1.4.1 of the zoning bylaw states no development or site alteration shall occur on that portion of the lot that contains a significant woodland without amendment to or relief from the zoning bylaw. Applicants stated reasons for not complying with the zoning bylaw. As stated on the application form, there is no other way to relocate the driveway on the property without applying for a minor variance application through the Committee of Adjustment. The applicant expressed safety concerns due to the alignment of the existing driveway with the intersection of Steeplechase Avenue and Hunters Glen Road. Public correspondence. As of this time, there are no letters of support, there are no letters of opposition. And in conclusion, staff believe that the requested variances meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act for granting minor variances. Therefore, staff recommend approval of the requested variances subject to 5 conditions in the staff's report. Just to know that generally there are 5 conditions. With the conditions, with condition 3 having 7 subconditions, and the condition 5 having 6 subconditions, giving an overall total of 16 conditions. And this is the application. Just for the condition number 3, I just want to mention a typo there. There's a word missing, owner. So such that it should read that the owner enter into a memorandum of understanding. So the word owner is missing there. I thought just mentioning that. So that's the application. Now, do we have an applicant or agent who would like to make a presentation? I have here a list here of Anna Loileilo and Michael De Silva. Are they present?
Michael De Silva is present.
Okay. So are you the only one? So you are the agent?
Correct.
Okay. So do you want to make a presentation or speak to this application or provide any comments?
Very, very briefly. Through the chair, I just
sorry, I forgot. Can you give us your address? I know you have given us your name. Can you give us your address?
The address of the file in question?
No,
26.
you address. You. Yes, yes,
My personal address,
yes, yes, please.
88 Sir Sanford Fleming Way, Maple, Ontario.
Okay, thank you. So
You're
you can
welcome.
continue.
Okay, so through the chair, I just, on behalf of the owner, I just want to thank the staff, their recommendation. We don't object to any of the conditions that they have recommended. Ultimately, my client wants to relocate the driveway because where it currently sits is really in an unsafe area. And the new location will be a safe entrance and exit way to the property. And I'm here to answer any questions that the committee might have.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public delegations? Peter?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no public delegations for this application.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the committee members? Michael?
Through you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask the applicant's agent, and they've already agreed that they're going to be replanting on a 2-to-1 ratio the trees that are being removed. Just wondering what size will those trees be? Are they going to be a fairly good size? I mean, the ones that are being removed are fairly healthy and fairly large.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah, the question was directed at you, Mr. De Silva. Yeah.
Okay. So through the chair, I don't know offhand what the size of the new caliber of the new tree will be. I assume that's something that will come from staff. I will say that when it comes to the trees themselves, the recent arborist report that we have, all the trees that are under consideration are all of poor condition. So none of them are actually of healthy condition. Of the 45 identified, 10 are already identified as dead, so they're not even poor. The remaining 35 that are poor condition, we are actually hopeful that we will be far under that number. We think we've actually laid it out recently. We think we'll be actually at around 24 of those trees. But I wanted to highlight the fact that they are all poor condition trees, and over the next few years likely will not survive.
Maybe town staff, Adam Robb, can answer that question about replacing them with trees. What caliber tree will be replacing?
Yes, certainly. And through you, Mr. Chair, what we have required as a condition of approval is an arborist report. This arborist report will go out and fact check the details and health of every tree that is proposed to be removed and provide an equal compensation in terms of not only a 2-to-1 ratio, but a substantial caliber that is appropriate relative to the findings of that arborist report.
Okay, thank you for that. The other question I have, where the location of the current driveway is, seems to, and I guess this is for Mr. De Silva, seems to be directly in line with where the garages are. So on a typical house, I mean, you're having, sorry about that. In a typical driveway, you're going into the driveway, and which leads directly into the garages. By moving your driveway over, it seems to be further east of where the garages are. So how are you going to access into the garages without paving over a large area there in front of the property, the front of the house?
Through the chair, the current plan that was pre-approved before this minor variance came out actually has a driveway. It's actually partially an old existing one on the property, and it actually already connects right through the east of the property on the inside of it. So where those garages are located, there actually is a driveway that comes all the way across the house and actually loops around, and much of that was actually pre-existing even before the current project that's there. So this new road will actually connect very well to it. It's not a long run to get to that existing road.
It's not a long run. Okay, just asking for my own. I mean, I drove by the area, I looked around, and it seemed to me that you're taking more land away from, trees, and it's a beautiful lot. And, you know, the whole area, the context of the area is in keeping with, you know, the natural heritage of the area. And, you know, removing more land dedicated to driveway, paving it with permeable pavers is a good idea as well. So thank you for answering that. I guess that's what the owner wants. That's good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Michael. Any other member of the committee have any questions? Jane? Okay, I have one question, and it's related to the design of the driveway. Since the new driveway is something which you are doing, and when I looked at the drawings you have, they don't show really a design sort of the new driveway. It's basically just showing a connection up to the property, like on the in natural heritage, it only shows up to the limit of the street line, the property line, and then in the staff report itself, it shows a little bit going beyond the property line, but doesn't show specifically things like the radius of the driving way, how it's going to tie into the road. So maybe this question will be basically say confirmation is maybe to Adam. I'm hoping this part will there be a site plan, or it will be part of the application in order to get a building permit, that you will make sure that the design of the driveway is appropriate, including the radius. Is that what it is?
For you, Mr. Chair, yes, that's correct. And condition number 4 in the report also speaks to the need for a road occupancy permit, which will detail those requirements.
Okay. Okay, so I don't have any other questions. I read the reports, and I read the natural heritage evaluation report, which is very extensive, very detailed, including all the mitigation measures. So I'll look up to members of the committee for motions or motion. Chris?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I would move to approve MV-2023-35, subject to the conditions listed in the staff report.
The seconder, Jane? We cannot hear you.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so before I ask you for everybody, I just want to make sure that maybe you mention that, remember, on condition number 3, I say there's a one word missing, the owner, so that is basically recorded that the approval includes inclusion of that word. Okay, so if that's okay, so I'll ask for now, all in favor of this motion? Motion carried. Thank you. Now we'll move to the second application. This is the minor variance application, MV-2023-34 at 1588 St. John's Head Road, blocks 1 and 2. For this application, the town is actually requesting for deferral. So I'll read the application and the reasons for deferral. The application, planning staff are requesting a deferral of this minor variance application. Staff have no concerns with the committee of adjustment continuing with the review of the concurrent consent application C-2023-05. The reasons for asking a deferral are that Additional time is needed to reconsider the preliminary zoning review and associated notices for the minor variance. This delay will allow staff to thoroughly assess and reevaluate the proposed zoning to guarantee that it complies with the policies of the town's official plan. There are no zoning related deficiencies or variances associated with the proposed consent itself. So the review of file C-2023-05 is appropriate to proceed. Staff recognize the importance of making informed decisions and believe the requested deferral will enable a more accurate and aligned interpretation of the zoning bylaw provisions over the use of the property. As a result, staff are requesting the subject application be deferred to the next Committee of Adjustment meeting for consideration. So that's the application for deferral. Now I'll ask for a motion from the committee members. Michael?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I move that we defer the application to the next meeting.
Do we have a seconder? Chris, all in favor of the motion? Motion carried. Thank you. Now the third and last application is a consent application number C-2023-05 at 1588 St. John's Side Road, blocks 1 and 2. The application. The proposed consent application is to sever and merge the subject lands as follows and as shown on the provided Appendix C color-coded plan of consent. Number A, the proposed retained lands will include Part 1 of the draft reference plan, which is east portion of Block 1 on 65M-4790 plan, and Part 4 of the draft reference plan on the west portion of Block 2, 65M-4790 plan. Number B, the proposed severed lands will include Part 2 of the draft reference plan on the east portion of Block 1, Plan 65M-4790, and the Part 3 of the draft reference plan on the west portion of Block 2 on the 65M-4790 plan. Once severed, the owner intends to merge the two proposed severed lands to create a new block described as Block 1A as shown in the Appendix C on the color-coded plan of consent. For public correspondence, there are no letters of support, there are no letters of opposition. In conclusion, staff are satisfied with the proposed consent application, and also staff have no objection to the approval of the consent application, subject to 8 conditions outlined in the staff's report. This is the application. Do we have an applicant or agent who want to speak to this application?
Yeah, good evening. It's Paul from Weston Consulting. I'm the agent for the application. We have Anna Rita as well. She's a representative of the applicant.
Okay, so if we, whoever, both of you individually, if you can give us your name. I know, Paul, you've mentioned your name and address, and then Anna also on your own want you to mention your name as well as your address. Thank you.
I'm Anna Rita Papa, and it's 62 Sherborne, Maple, Ontario, L6A1H1.
Yeah,
We
Paul,
are in agreement with the, oh, sorry, Paul, did you want to cover
Yes,
the
sorry.
motion? Go ahead.
Paul Tobia from Weston Consulting, 201 Millway Avenue, Suite 19, L4K 5K8. Go ahead, Anna.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know who is going to make a presentation, or maybe both of you. Anybody can start.
I'll just speak quickly. So just as a result of the severance, Block A, which is the new block, it's going to be compliant with the zoning regulations, size that 0.41 hectares, and it's 48 meters of frontage. And upon that severance, the residual blocks 1 and 2, they'll be remaining compliant as they exceed the minimum required lot area, which is 0.23 hectares and minimum lot frontage of 30 meters. So just to briefly state, we've read the staff report and agree with the recommendations and the conditions of approval, and we respectfully request that the committee approve the consent. So thank you for your time this evening, and Rita and myself can answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Anna, do you also want to speak or no?
I'm fine. Paul covered everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public delegates?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no public delegations for this application.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the committee members? I can see Jane, you're speaking, but we cannot hear you because you are muted.
No, I was just shaking my head.
Oh, okay. Okay, any questions or comments from Paul? Sorry, Chris? No questions, you're shaking your head. What about Michael? Are you speaking, Michael?
No, Mr. Chair, through you, I read the staff report. It looks like everything is in order and the 4 tests are met.
Anyway, even for me, I don't have any questions. I just to say, I liked the presentations. They're very, very good. You know, showing at the beginning all the blocks and then how they are merging, showing the retained land and then severed lands. It's very, very clear. And I can see from the staff's report, they are meeting the minimum requirements of those lands. So I don't have any questions. So I will look to the committee for motion or motions. Michael?
To you, Mr. Chair, I move that the application be approved.
Thank you. Any seconder? Jane is seconder.
Yes, I'll second that motion.
All in favor of the motion? Motion carried. So thank you very much. Your application has been approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Have a good night. Yeah.
Bye now.
So moving to the next part of the meeting, any new business to discuss? Peter or Adam, anything you have in mind for us?
New business on our end.
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair, no business on my end.
Okay. Members, nothing? Okay, I don't have any. Okay, so then I'll ask for a mover for adjournment. Jane.
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.